So there's a bill that's being introduced that just got introduced, like I think 2 weeks ago or something in Texas by a Republican representative, obviously,
Obviously, who's never come before.
who's never come before, to ban like vibrators and dildos from being sold in like pharmacies like CVS or like Target and stuff like that.
Right.
Like I don't know what it is. They just really don't want women to come. Like
Is
no
there
vibrators, no abortions. They just want to trap women when they can't make them come. They're like,
right?
just stay with me.
And if you're gonna come, you better have a damn baby. Yeah.
That's the motto for them, it seems.
And we're rolling.
Rolling, baby. All right. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Raj Against The Machine. This week, we have the extremely funny Paula Leon, one of the few Peruvian comics in New York City. You've probably seen her everywhere, comedy shop, Westside Comedy Club, Eastville, every single comedy club in the city. You've seen her. I'm jealous because I'm in none of them. But joined alongside with our awesome host, producer, Eric Crisanti. Gosh, hey, this time I forgot your credit, not your name. So it's
Who are you?
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
I don't even know.
but yeah. Thanks so much for joining us, Paula.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Yeah. So what's going on with you? You got anything cool going on? Anything fun coming up?
Yeah. I'm working on a half-hour special right now that I want to tape for my birthday. Not really sure how good it's gonna be, but I'm just doing it for myself.
Well,
really.
and the birthday show you can't fail.
Yeah, I mean, like my friends are gonna have to laugh because that's their gift.
Correct.
Their gift is laughing their hardest.
And I also think a birthday show is probably like the best strategy to get the best tape. I don't know why old comics don't just shoot specials on their birthday.
They should just do it on their birthdays.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just like, I've seen a lot of people do just general birthday shows for their birthdays, or they like headline for a little bit for their birthdays. But like, for me, I was like, literally every year before this, I always took off on my birthday because I was like, I'm a rest. I'm gonna take off for my birthday. And I produce shows like pretty regularly. I would say like once a month. But I guess it never really, I was like dawned on me to do it for my birthday. And then this year I was like, you know what? I want a nice, 3-4 angle shot, like set of mine. I want it to look beautiful, kind of like inspired by Katie Boyle, like do it yourself. Like I'm gonna freaking do it myself. For myself. And again, I don't know how good it's gonna go because nowhere, I'm young in New York City, so like they don't let me do longer than 15 minutes. So it's like every night I like practice half of the show.
Right. Well, how long are you doing for your birthday show? Are you doing a half hour?
I'm doing a half hour,
Okay.
but I'm making sure like my openers and everything total to like a little bit less than half an hour because I want to give space in case I go over 30 minutes.
Yeah. And then do with this what you may, but I'd probably suggest having like the host do 10.
Yeah.
And then your opener maybe doing 15 max. And then give yourself 45.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I think. I think I'm gonna end up hitting that. So that's why I kept it short.
Right.
Because I was like, I know that I have. See, that's the thing that I've seen a lot of people like produce their own specials, and maybe people who are even greener than me. And
Oh, yeah.
yes, like people who've been doing stand up for a year, and they're like, I have a whole hour, and I'm like,
And it sucks.
yes, exactly. I'm like, you have a whole hour that no one wants to listen to, and I'm like been very critical. Like I've got to work with a lot of great comedians throughout the year, very tightly with like Chanel Ali for all of last year. So I really got to see like how she worked and how she like taught people. I was like a teaching assistant for her.
Right.
And so that definitely made me more critical, being like, okay, I know I have an hour of material, but I know I could do a tight 30. And that's what I care about more.
Yeah, the
right
tight 30.
now.
Yeah,
I was like,
for sure.
I don't want to put just an hour of everything I've written, because I'm not 100%. I feel like I gotta like tour, some small suburban towns to headline enough to practice it, to then know that I can like this is a tight tape like hour, but it's
Right.
hard working on an hour
For sure.
when you're not like selling out theaters or something.
Yeah, and also when you're restricted to doing maximum like 15-minute sets and stuff.
Yeah.
It's hard to really like let loose and
Yeah, because especially like when you have longer sets, it's like you want to explore, or there's certain there's certain things that can tie in things together or call back together, but in a 15-minute set, maybe it's like too long or like it's not long enough to
not long
fit
enough,
the right things in there.
Correct. But you go on the road with TJ Miller.
Yeah, I go on the road with TJ Miller sometimes. And but even then I still do about like 50 because I'm his like as host or as opener. So he does like the full hour. So even then in that position I'm doing less.
Well, I guess the reason I was bringing it up, like when you do road gigs, are you guys going to like outside of New York? And
yeah. So we did DC like a month ago or like 3 weeks ago or something like that, and that was really fun. That was my first time in DC.
Oh, nice!
And I loved it.
Yeah, it's a cool city.
It's a great city. The audiences are like really like just ready to laugh. Like they were all like really there for everything. And I was like I was a little nervous because I have like a little bit of like political material that I do.
Okay.
But my political material isn't very like divisive. Like it doesn't
it doesn't tear people apart.
Exactly. You know, and which I full respect to everyone that does. I know like it really works for a lot of people to like hammer into something, but like I like like I'm an immigrant, like I'm from outside. I've lived among a lot of other governments, and so I feel like I have like a different perspective, the way that I like handle these topical things, and so I was like, oh, I don't know how will this turn out in DC? Because I've done stuff in Florida and Miami. There, I cannot do political humor. They hate it. They're like, unless you're being like, Trump, yay. Like, no, you can't. Like, you can't, even it's like anything slightly like too smart or analytical about it. They're like,
even if you play both sides.
Yeah. So I try to really just make fun of like, for instance, like one of my jokes is like, how I was like really excited for like potentially Kamala. Like but I didn't like, to be honest, like I didn't even know her full like plan. Like I didn't care because that was the truth for me. Like I did not care if she actually planned to like burn a hole in the center of Manhattan as part of like her presidential plan, because like I just was like a woman president, like is 2020. I don't know what year. It was 2025. Yeah. It was 2024 then.
At the time.
Like, we still haven't had one.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't care if she's not perfect.
Yeah.
I just want her, and also like she's younger. And I was like, and all these men. It's like whenever I see Chuck Schumer on the TV, I'm like, why can't you just retire?
Yeah. Just get out of here. Yeah. Let those glasses fall.
Let those glasses fall. Go take a nap. Retire in West Palm Beach in Florida, like the rest of old people, and. Because I wanted, it's more exciting to see someone that's like, because like, Trump and Biden were just like, they're just two old people.
They're two old dudes.
Two old dudes.
Yeah, we need a change.
And they can like barely move. And they have the slowest reactions to stuff,
They do. Well, Biden a little bit slower than Trump.
Yes.
But
now we know. Trump will catch up there because he's only a few years behind.
Exactly. And he's dipping his dick in porn stars. He's gonna get something.
He's gonna get something. That'll affect the brain.
I was gonna say though, for Florida, and like some of those southern states or like the more conservative states, what I found is when I do stand up there, I'm still a liberal Democrat, but I lean right. When you lean right,
so
and
you're playing to your audience.
Yeah, you play to the audience. They love it, because I'm not pro Trump, but I won't be like, oh, Trump's the worst. I'm like, Trump's gay. Like it's like a lighthearted.
There's lighthearted. Like I have this joke that I think is that I like. I've gotten some people who are pro Trump that like enjoyed it, and it's a joke basically about like how SignalGate happened.
Oh, with Trump and about the war.
No, Trump wasn't in it.
Oh, he wasn't in it.
Okay, that's what I focused on, right? Because it was like Pete Hegseth, like Stephen Miller, and all the other sad men in that group. They had this little group chat that actually included like a reporter from The Atlantic or something like that, some major publication. And they were just like talking plans, but they also said, they're like, I don't think the president knows what he's saying. I don't think he knows what he's doing. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I like to think that the moment that like the news came out about this group chat was also the same moment that Trump found out there's another group chat. Like, having an ego death.
Poor
those
guy.
those are some of his best friends, you know, his inner circle. Like those are his boys.
Yeah, and they're all shitting on
And they're all
him.
shitting on
Oh,
him, and it's
man.
on like a bunch of news publications. And
Uh,
then I'm like go into how I think it's like a Mean Girls situation,
right. Almost
right?
like you see the movie Conclave?
No, not yet.
Oh, there's definitely a big Mean Girl
Is it a Mean
situation
Girl
going on.
situation?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So I think it's like finding the ways to like pick those moments and then like be like, well, we can all agree this is funny. This is
Yes.
ridiculous and
Yes.
funny, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And so I like that's like a joke that has been like doing pretty well, which I'm like, okay, that's like a nice like, you know, like like it's playing to everybody.
It's playing to everybody. Correct.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like I firmly believe as someone who's like lived everywhere, kind of that like I really want my comedy to like bring people together
Right.
and like maybe like influence them and like I'm not gonna call anyone dumb or something like that.
Yeah.
But I do hope that like because I talk about my immigrant experience or like my immigration or visa, my like hardships, my husband, my family, you know, I hope that as those laughs roll, people are like, maybe, you know, maybe the deep Republicans are like, oh, maybe, you know, this little immigrant, she can stay. We like this one, you know, maybe they're not that bad.
We'll pull ice off of her.
Yeah.
Well, now
You know.
now you can make fun of Elon because he's not there anymore.
Oh, right. That's true. Yeah. What now? I think Elon's putting in just the required amount of hours to work.
Wow, he's not going overtime anymore.
He's not doing anything extra. He's just putting in the bare minimum
Yeah, because we
until.
learned that governments don't really pay overtime.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, government workers don't really get paid overtime. They get paid in like extra time off sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I mean, I don't.
He's like, I don't need that.
He's like, I don't need any of that. I just got to do whatever I got to do to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, he's like, they're trying to fuck up my sales now.
I just don't know what he was thinking when he signed on, to be part of this.
I think he signed on because he thought he could like buy a country,
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess
which he kind of did.
Yeah,
You know, like he like mostly funded the election for him.
I mean, he bought
Like-
an entire social media.
He bought he bought
platform.
an entire
Yeah,
social
yeah,
media platform to
yeah.
like let like Trump back in and do all this stuff. So like he definitely, and then I think once he saw that like, because I feel like for him, I think it was just always about his own. Like for a lot of them, it's about their own money.
For sure.
But
Yeah.
I think for him, clearly, it was so obvious now that he's leaving that it was about his like money and like making his money. That's why like now Tesla's like a government vendor.
Yeah.
Right? Because his stock was like plummeting, and then he
Right.
got the government vendor, and now he's like fine again because
Yeah.
now he's getting government money,
Mm-hmm.
which like that is. I was like, oh, I love that corruption is just like right in our face, guys.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I feel like it's always been in our face, but now it's like apparent.
Yeah, well, that
Yeah.
one was like really public,
Yeah.
right? Because like
yeah.
there is like I worked for the city, like I worked for city council, like all of last year, and you get so angry when you learn how much things cost,
Right.
but only because we have to use the specific
Funding.
government vendors,
Mhm.
which I'm like, this is corruption.
Yeah.
That's how you know. But a lot of people don't realize that, right? Because a lot
Right.
of people don't know that the NYPD security camera cost 50 grand to replace.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy. 50
Exactly.
grand?
Yes. And you know, like NYCHA public housing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like a NYCHA door, I believe it's like some ridiculous amount of number. I think it's like 7 grand to replace the door.
But like any door is like maybe a grand.
Yeah.
Or-
No. Yeah. And
I-
and those get broken into like a minimum 3 times a month. So they're constantly replacing those
Yeah.
doors. And I have a theory. I have a little conspiracy theory that the vendors that make these doors are paying someone to break the
To
doors.
break the doors. Wow.
They could just give someone who's like not well and give them maybe like, here's $100, here's a bat. If you break this door, you get this $100. And they'll be like, yeah, sure, whatever. And then they get another 7 grand. Like that's what I think. That's a little conspiracy
Wow.
theory. I like to
I would
think.
not be surprised.
I used to date a girl who lived in a NYCHA building, and the door would get broken and fixed every 4 or 5 months.
Yep.
And I could just go to her place and open the front door and then go upstairs and knock on her apartment door. So I wouldn't have to ring the buzzer or anything. I could just walk right in.
Yep.
There were people sitting in the lobby just hanging out.
Yeah.
They don't even live there.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
No, it's a big problem.
Yeah.
No, yeah, and then it takes forever for NYCHA to get the fixes that they need, and it's like a big, because people are like, we're running out of money, and I'm like, well, it's because we have this corruption of vendors. Like, here's another really stupid example of like, so you like to fully understand how dumb this money stuff is. Here in New York City, people really love to have tree guards. Do you know what tree guards are?
No.
So if you go on the Upper East Side
Yeah.
or Upper West Side, you'll see them 100%. There's these little metal fences that go around the trees on the streets.
Oh yeah, they have those.
Yeah, they have some of them here as well. You
Yeah.
know, where I live though, it's like sporadic.
Right.
But those government-wise, those cost 10 grand.
For just a little metal fence around a tree?
Yes.
Wow.
And me and my coworker, when we like found this out, we literally like searched on Home Depot, being like, how much is this actually? Like, if we just wanted to do it ourselves, like how much would it be?
$200?
It was like $300
Wow.
to get like the strong metal ones. But like it would have like I think it was like it was like $200, and then you probably have to pay someone $100 to like put it in. But like that's where I can like die on a hill where I'm just like, I'm like, there is government waste, yes, but it's there and no one's addressing it.
No one's addressing. Well, hold on. Are you gonna get shot for talking about this on the podcast?
Because we'll clip it.
Because we will 100%,
This will be the
especially
first
after you get shot.
And we're like, this is what led to Paula's demise. Long live, rest in peace. She served well to the public.
That's crazy that you didn't have to sign an NDA or anything. Because that's
What, for the prices of everything?
yeah.
No, because I think it's well, a lot of stuff.
Because it is legal, technically.
Yes, it's legal, and also a lot of stuff I think that people don't really tend to know, that a lot of government things have to be public, right? So like, you know, like when they release the budget or the financial, like you can find that they bury it.
Right.
They make it hard for you to find it.
But it is
but
public
it legally
information.
has to be available to the public.
Okay, so
So
you're not
no.
saying anything that.
So I'm not saying
nobody-
anything that's wrong, because
Yeah.
because it's not like the council member I worked for was the one that decided that. It's the
Right.
powers deeper above that
Yeah.
like decide that, and then the council members just kind of have to allocate the funding that they're given to different organizations or areas or neighborhoods or NYCHA housings, like
Right.
different programs. You know, they basically. I feel like council members just get to like. I feel like council members and other elected officials are very similarly like businessmen, but not with their own money, right? I feel like if you go to any like JP Morgan or what's another finance firm? I don't know, some bank. You know, like
Yeah. Well, they're essentially just managers, money managers.
yeah, they're money managers.
Goldman Sachs.
Goldman
Sachs.
That
There
was
you
a
go.
good
I was
one.
thinking of I was like Saks,
Yeah, I was like,
Fifth
Ball
Avenue, and I was like, that's
Sack.
not
Yeah.
a bank. That's a place.
Are we endorsing Corinne Fisher for mayor?
I think I did by accident.
Did you endorse Corinne Fisher?
You sent her money?
No,
By accident?
I was hanging out at the cellar. She comes in, her and a friend with the clipboard, and then they're like,
Yes, you're petitioning. Yeah.
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 And she was like,
Well, you can.
Do you
because-
work for Corinne Fisher now?
I don't know. I think she has an office at my house now. Yeah.
No, but in New York City, you can honestly endorse up to 5 candidates
Oh, okay.
because of ranked choice
Okay.
voting.
Right.
So you know, just don't put Eric Adams or Cuomo on your. If you care about the cost of living in New York City going down, don't put either of those two guys
Yeah,
on your rank.
for sure.
There's so many other options, right? You could put Corinne Fisher. Corinne Fisher would be a way better choice to be put on than those guys.
Oh, okay, so I did good.
Yeah, Zohran
Okay.
Mamdani, Brad Lander.
Where is Zohran? Zohran?
Zohran is actually he's the assembly member of this where we are right now.
I mean, as far as polling, where's he at?
He's
Is he
polling pretty
3?
highly. I think
Okay.
I thought he was second after Cuomo.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know.
What about Lander?
Brad Lander. Well, I think so. Brad Lander's actually. I think he's a good option.
Because
But a
when I
lot of
see his
people-
commercials, I'm like, something about him. I just don't trust him.
Well, he's older. 2, he hasn't been in much of like the public eye.
Okay.
Like he's been working in government though for like a really long time.
Okay.
And honestly, if you do look at the work that he's done, it's usually all like very progressive. You know,
Okay.
it's for working families. It's for the protection of like people like that. And so that like, you know, if you're aligned with wanting to help working families and women and things like that, you know, he's a good person to put on your list.
On my list?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I can't speak too much about all the work that he's done. The only one I've really like read a lot of is Zohran, because he caught my eye. because whoever's doing his social media
Is
should
figured
get a
out.
freaking award, okay?
He is in single-digit territory with Cuomo, which is very surprising. I didn't realize he was that close.
Ooh.
Oh, what is Zohran's background?
Zohran, so his mom is actually a director, like a film director.
What?
I know. So if you see, sometimes you'll see like a lot of like the Republicans or the people who just love Cuomo or something will be like, well, he's a Nepo baby. And I'm like, well, so is Cuomo. Like, what are you talking about?
Who isn't a Nepo
Like,
baby?
at this point. And also like
Me.
I feel like you would call Zohran a Nepo baby if he was trying to be in film.
Exactly. Yeah, he's not even in the
He's
same
literally-
field.
yeah.
Wow.
So he's done good work.
Yeah,
Like,
all the more reason.
He cares about
Yeah.
people. He wants to create this. I don't know if it's gonna work because of everybody else, but it's pretty cool that he wants to do like government, like city owned grocery stores.
Oh,
Because
nice.
like say like places like Food Seller Market or Key Foods will hike up prices of things. Have you noticed the difference when you go to like say a Target
Oh,
versus
yeah.
like a
Yeah.
regular grocery store you
It's
just see?
insane.
It's insane.
Yeah, that's why I'll wait for my weekly or bi-weekly trip to Long Island to go to a Target,
Yeah.
than to just go to like the Key Food or stuff around here.
Yeah,
It's
no,
insane.
it's insane. You'll go for like literally a bag of grapes is like $10, and I'm like, wait, why?
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, so he wants to like do something to address that.
That's good.
You know, and it's all pretty good stuff.
Mhm.
So definitely if that's why I say if you care about the cost of living going down, do not put Cuomo or Eric Adams on there. Just don't.
Do you have like a, sorry to go off topic, do you have like a biggest bomb story?
Biggest bomb like
Yeah.
on stage?
Yes.
Oh, that
Ooh,
took a
that's
that took a
good.
180.
Yeah, that's a good 180. Okay, biggest bomb. I don't really remember if I had like what is a biggest bomb, but I will say there is a bomb that I remember specifically. And it's because it was my I'd not done stand up for almost a month because I was in Peru with my family.
Okay.
And like really trying to spend time with them, so I was rusty,
Right.
and I come back and luckily I get the opportunity to be on this show that was then called Brownish.
Okay.
That was like a
Brownish.
usually mostly Latino show
Mm-hmm.
at New York Comedy Club. Now they changed it to a different name, but back then it was called that, and it was my first like time being offered a spot on that show.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, yes, like I was also one of my like I think it was like the second time I'd ever performed at New York Comedy Club at the time.
Right.
This was like 3 years ago or something like that. 3 years ago, and I looked great because I had just come from Peru, but my everything was just off. Like I was so
Timing.
my timing was off, everything was off, and so it was my first time getting an actual tape from that club, and I like could not use it because I was
Oof.
like that was so bad.
Yeah, that's rough.
Luckily, I've left that in the past.
Good. That's where it
But that is
belongs.
definitely a bomb that I remember because like everybody that I cared about like from like a community familial sense comedy wise was like there, and I'm like,
Right.
great, now they think I suck.
Well, I mean, you probably should have got like one mic in before you went.
Yes, yeah. But
Yeah.
I think I literally had arrived the day before the show.
Oh, okay. Right.
So I think I remember it was just really like really I was like, I'm back, I'm on, and I
yeah. Yeah.
not good.
It's not like riding a bike.
No.
But it is kind of like riding a bike in the sense that all you need is maybe like one or two
Yeah,
bikes.
you need the muscle memory
Yeah,
back in.
yeah, it's,
Yeah. And it was also it was not the best.
So what? No laughs beginning to end?
There was like some laughs, but like not there wasn't the momentum. There was it didn't, like I said, everything was just like my whole thing was off, and I remember I like sat back in the row and I think I looked at someone and I was like, I'm sorry. And she was like, it's fine. And I was like, no, it's not fine.
Oh, did she say it out loud? She's like, it's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, like
Oh,
to me, and
that's
I was
the
like,
worst.
no.
Yeah.
And she's one of my dearest like comedy big sisters now. So like, she's definitely seen me grow and be like, she knows I'm like strong and everything
Right.
now. But like,
Right.
when you have these people that you kind of like look up to in comedy, and so like
Yeah.
that was there's like a whole group of people there
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
that
yeah.
show,
I know,
and
that's
then
the
I
worst.
fucking ate shit on it, and I was like, ah. But luckily that was like I said, like 3 years ago, so
Right.
they've seen me, like they know
Redeem yourself.
I've redeemed myself
Yeah.
so aggressively. But note to self, if you ever go on a trip for more than a month, go to like mics in the morning if you can.
Yeah,
you know?
get some sort of stage time.
Get some
in,
sort of
but-
stage time just to get that muscle back in.
I used to have there was this one I don't know if you have had this experience, but there's this one comic who was like my kryptonite. Every time I would see him at the show, whether he was on the show or if he was just hanging out in the audience, I knew I was going to bomb. I don't know why, what it was about this one person.
Did you like them?
He was nice. He's a nice guy. Khalid Rahman, you know him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Wait, who?
Khalid Rahman.
No, I don't know him.
Oh, okay. He used to be really big back in the day. I think he took a step back from comedy right now. But
way to shit on him.
no, he's still killing it. He's just killing it as a writer. He's not doing
cool.
stage
This
performance.
This guy used to be real popular.
Now
People knew him all the time.
he used to be at every party, and now he don't even get an invite.
He would get stopped on the street.
No, he's still relevant. You just don't see him on stage as much anymore.
Yeah.
I hung out with him last week. We watched Nick games together. I
that's lovely.
don't even watch basketball.
I hope he sees this.
But was he someone that like had similar like material to you or no?
No. He had his own, he's a Brooklyn comic. I had, we had completely different material. We got along very well. He's a good guy and he was very funny. And whenever he's not in the room, I'm very funny. But for some reason, every time he was at a show, the second I saw him, I don't know what got into my head. I was like, I'm going to fucking bomb. And then it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. The second I got on stage, I just bombed.
No.
Yeah.
Is he someone who's like you would say is like your comedy classmate?
Yeah. Well, I guess we're from the same class.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But I never understood why that happened. He was almost like and unfortunately, because he's such a good guy and we have a good time when we hang out, but he was kind of like my bad luck charm for some reason.
You would never work shows
You're
with
like-
him on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, people would be like, hey, Raj, you want to do the show? You're like, yeah. Who else is on the show?
Oh, this guy Khalid,
Can't
get
do
me
it.
off the show.
Give me a different date. Can't do it. Oh, you're gonna put him again? You know what? Maybe I can't do your show.
I'm moving to a different city.
The producers start to think that he's a terrible person.
Yeah.
They're like, no,
They're like,
he's
he's
really nice.
Why is this grown man avoiding this other grown man? Like, what did he do to him? Oh my god.
Yeah. You know what I think it is? I think it's when he's sitting down and he's watching the show, he's very stoic. You can't really tell if he's liking it or hating it. So I guess whenever I would see him on the crowd, whenever I was up and I didn't see him laughing,
It would shake you up.
it would, yes, it would. And then I was like, oh, if he's not laughing, nobody likes this. And then
Never look at other comics.
I know.
Never look at other comics. Never.
I know. Because
like-
we're jaded. We don't laugh at anything.
No,
out
yeah,
loud.
we're also numb because, and it's funny because I feel like comics, like something's funny if a comic just goes like, like they're like, oh, that's good. Like literally that's all. Like if they literally like say they're like, oh, that was really good.
Yeah,
then they found it really funny, but they're not gonna audibly laugh, which is like so.
That's why
like,
I always sit in the back when I go to Raj's shows because I'm like, I've heard this joke 1,000
a million times.
and if I don't laugh, I feel like I'm being rude, and it's like he's gonna make eye contact. He's gonna start thinking.
No, actually, I don't think I've ever seen you laugh out loud. Period. So if anything,
I've never seen you experience joy.
I've heard that many times.
yeah.
Someone made me laugh once, and they were like, "Oh my god!"
Is
Like,
that ew? Don't do that again.
They're like, oh my god, I feel disturbed. Now I know why you don't. It makes no sense.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you go ahead. I was going to ask her if she had any plugs, but if you were on
Oh, are we at that point already?
Yep.
Oh shit!
Oh my God,
Wow. Oh, I didn't even start my
You
timer.
fucking idiot.
Dumbass. Yeah. Well, okay, hold on. Before we get into plugs, one more topic. Let's hit a topic.
Yes.
We got the French president, or did you have one in mind?
Oh, she was talking about the Texas vibrators.
Oh yes.
Yes. The
So there's a bill that's being introduced that just got introduced, like I think 2 weeks ago or something in Texas by a Republican representative, obviously,
who's never come before.
who's never come before, to ban like vibrators and dildos from being sold in like pharmacies like CVS or like Target and stuff like that. Like,
Right.
which like here in New York City, when you go to, you can see that there are like,
Yeah.
the option. There's a very limited option. I don't know.
Sometimes you want to get a loaf of bread, a gallon of milk, and a vibrator.
Yeah,
and they should all be at the same place.
Exactly. You don't want to wait for that 2-day shipping, so you just go and get it right away. or maybe your vibrator broke and you're like, I need a replacement, emergency, stat.
Right? Have you ever been like halfway about to come and then the battery dies? It's an emergency. You gotta go to a CVS or a Walgreens.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
you can't wait 2 days on a half cum. It's yeah.
But I have to say, I do think it's like, I think it's a silly bill. I know if it's gonna like probably snowball into then like making them only have those sex shops, and there's gonna be like some sketchy looking sex shop on like the side of the highway,
Right.
because like no landlord in Texas is gonna like want to have a sex shop next to like,
got, like, a
their
tent.
ice cream shop. It's gonna have like a freaking tent.
Yeah.
Some dude outside just like got a beer that's like long to his stomach, and he just scratches his belly. He's like, hey. And then people are like, oh my God. And yeah, I don't know. I guess like I don't know what it is. They just really don't want women to come. You know?
What
Like
is
no
there?
vibrators, no abortions. They just want to trap women when they can't make them come. They're
Right.
like, just stay with me.
And if you're gonna come, you better have a damn baby. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the motto for them, it seems. But I also don't know who's going into sex shops these days.
Yeah,
you have them here in New York. There's like a bunch in New York City.
And like Hell's Kitchen, right on 8th Avenue.
Hell's
Yeah.
Kitchen, but also like in Queens. There's like a bunch.
Really?
Yes.
I would never go to a sex shop in Queens.
I would never.
Yeah.
They don't make them look that good, I must say. It's always like some like faceless mannequin that's like half broken and then is wearing like some weird like open underwear situation.
Yeah. You're like, what happened to the other half?
Yeah, I'm like, who is this for? But yeah, I feel like most people these days just buy it literally on like Amazon. So like,
I don't think anyone's actually like buying anything. I feel like it's more of a novelty thing.
It is more of a
just go
novelty at
in
this
and
point.
look around and laugh.
maybe to get poppers, like that's why they have
Maybe
sex
because
shops.
they gotta pay their rent somehow.
Yeah, no, they definitely.
And nobody's really buying anything.
I do
in
not
there.
know what they're
Yeah,
doing.
Yeah.
I went into a sex shop once with TJ Miller.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing like a promotional video for one of his shows on the road.
Sure, that's what it was.
Yes, exactly. He needed my advice to know which strap-on looked the best. No, but it was funny because like when we were in there, there's just like so many things.
Right.
There's so many things, and then we literally like as we were talking to one of the ladies, there's this guy who came in there who like looked like a sketchy man.
Of course.
And he like I feel like he just went in there to get ideas, because he didn't buy anything, and I was like, how dare you?
Right.
How dare you come in here, look around really slowly and meticulously, talk to a young lady, and then head on out. I'm like, what?
Yeah. What are you
doing? Buy something. Support the business.
Yeah. Well, see, but that's a thing. The small business in general has kind of been ruined by these big box, like Amazon and Target and Walmart. The thing is, like, he probably went in there to get ideas. He's probably like, oh, this vibrator looks cool, or like this butt plug looks cool, and but it's $50. You know, like now that he felt it, he held it, he knows what it. He's like, this is the one for me.
He held it. It's like this one.
Yeah, then he goes home, he orders it for like $20.
Exactly,
That's what a lot of people do, right? Not just for sex toys, but for everything.
No, that's true.
Yeah, but what's the reasoning for why they didn't want it easily accessible in Texas?
Why they don't want it to be easily accessible in Texas? Well, I think it's because they just don't. They don't want women to be happy.
Yeah.
Like first they ban abortions, and now they're like banning vibrators, or banning, like making it harder to access vibrators.
Right.
And it's like I said, I feel like it's like they want to make sure women don't know how to come, so that they stay with the same man that they're forced to have this baby with.
Right. The same man who can never make them come.
Exactly. So
They're
if you're against abortions, you're a pussy.
Yeah.
Who can't satisfy a lady.
100%. Oh, you put it that way? I guarantee you, there's gonna be some reform in those Republican states ASAP.
Yeah, I'm like, if you please a lady, let me see those vibrators, boys. Come on.
There's gonna be some guy with a gun like, I can please a lady. Yeah.
Gonna put a fucking vibrator on his gun. He's like, let's go, and it's like, no, not like that. Like,
Not like-
let's not do it that way.
That's not what I meant by automatic.
Start shooting fucking dildos at people.
That's a Texas I want to live in.
I know. It's like that joke about like Latino men being so fertile they could just look at a woman and just make her pregnant.
Oh yeah.
That's what that guy's gonna do. But with the dildos, he's like, dildo, dildo, dildo. You all came.
They all came. And they're like, oh my God, now I'll give you a baby for sure.
They're like, oh my gosh, I love this dildo. I'll stay with you.
Yeah. No, big fan of the old dilly.
Yeah. So men, this Valentine's Day. I mean, this Valentine's Day is like a year from now, but
Right. Well, you know what?
Ireland?
We'll just save this episode for
Yeah.
February.
literally, buy the lady a vibrator. Yeah. She'll be
On
like,
that-
oh my god.
Well,
On that note,
On that
On that
note,
note.
yeah. Well, sorry. On that note, what?
plugs.
Plugs, butt plugs.
Butt plugs.
Yes, butt plugs. You ever use one?
No,
Nah.
you?
You? No, I thought about it. Got a finger up there. I didn't like it.
Didn't like it.
Nah. I think there's like a depth thing.
The depth thing
There's like a safe zone. You go past the safe zone.
feels like an enema,
It's no longer safe.
Oh.
Yeah. I think she went past the safe zone.
and then a bunch of other stuff came out.
No, it felt like it was going to come out. So I started panicking.
Yeah.
I was like, take that finger out because that's going to be the least of your problems in about a second.
goodness.
And she did.
You know, speaking of Corinne Fisher, I used to, before I even met her, ages ago when I was younger, like I think even before I like officially started comedy, I was listening to her podcast, Guys We Fucked.
Yes.
Yes,
Great
and
podcast.
it was literally the one like I listened to like maybe like 3 episodes because I downloaded it for like flights or something.
Right.
And so I just know this one like episode is ingrained in my brain of when I don't know if it was Christina or if it was the other, I don't know who it was.
I forget the co-host name.
Yeah, it was like, yeah. But I feel like they talked about how one of them did anal for the first time, and they got super lubed up because you know you need to.
Yeah.
And then they were like, you know, stuff started to come out.
Oh, yeah.
And she like ran to the bathroom because you know it's got that reaction.
Yeah,
You know, you
yeah.
stick something, you know, a little enema.
And your butt doesn't know if something's going in or out.
Yeah,
so
your butt's
it
like,
feels the
what?
same.
It's never happened like this. Yet.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah. Well, one of the first times I did, you know, butt stuff with someone else, butt stuff wasn't happening to me. You know, that's the thing they tell you all the time. They're like, you got to ease in,
Yeah.
you got to lube it up, ease in. But the one thing they don't tell you is also you got to ease out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't pull out too fast.
Because then it'll stimulate the rest of it. To like,
Oh no, not that.
Not that?
No. It locks up. It's like one of those finger traps.
no.
You know, like
Did
you pull
your
out
penis
too
get
fast.
stuck?
Yeah, I got stuck.
Oh my
Yeah, I started
gosh.
flipping out, and then she was like, "You're doing it too fast. Like, let me relax." And then she relaxed, and I got out. But
Okay.
it's like a fucking finger trap. You know?
Yes,
It's like,
that sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
That literally sounds like what if you ended up at the ER? Like, would you have to wait till you get soft, or like would the softness still keep you in there?
I think if I got soft, it would have fell out. But,
That's like something you worry about. And it's like, but then it's like still stuck in there. You're like, now we gotta go to the ER.
yeah, if I was soft and I was still stuck in there,
You'd be terrified.
Yeah,
you're
I'd
like,
be terrified.
you're like, oh my god, you're consuming me from the wrong end. What's going on?
Just let me go. You're so clingy.
You're so clingy.
Eric, you have any similar stories?
Finger in the butt once,
Oh,
and it was like, please stop, whatever that is.
that's just so calmly. Please stop. Please.
Did
Don't-
you
don't do
you
that.
ask for it, or
I
did they
did not.
surprise you with it?
I did not. It was a surprise.
It was
What was the
surprise.
context? Was it like
See, consent is important.
it
Okay.
is? Yes, for all parties.
What was the context?
Well, yeah. Well, like, what are
You
you
were just walking around.
just walking through the park?
She's walking around. She, you know, puts her hand on your butt and then slips it down your pants and sticks a finger in.
Whoa! What's
Casual
happening?
Friday stroll
yeah.
around Astoria Park.
What was the season? August, hot, humid,
Oh.
balmy
What
day.
the sweat was the lubrication?
The
Jesus,
setting? Yeah, I don't remember. It was.
you blocked it out of his head.
It wasn't too hot. It wasn't an uncomfortable weather.
Situation. Okay.
Well, it was uncomfortable.
It was out. It was outdoors.
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It was fine. The humidity was fine in my room.
Oh, all right.
Humidity was fine in your room.
Well, I was gonna say, what like was it during oral? Were you having sex? What was the context?
Oh, it was it was oral. Yeah.
Oh, see the finger in the butt during oral. Not a fan. I know. I can't-
I think you're just not a fan of butt stuff in general. I think we just established that you're 100% not gay.
yeah.
You're like I've tried things and
We get it,
don't like
dude.
No.
We get it wrong.
I could be gay. I would probably just be a giver, not a taker.
Okay, you'd be a
Yeah,
top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I could never be a bottom or a power bottom. right? A power bottom is someone who pushes back into it, right?
I
I
have
don't know
no
if you're
idea.
allowed to
Okay.
say power bottom anymore.
Really? Is power
Wait,
bottom
why?
gone?
I don't know.
Wait,
What?
what's
I'll
wrong?
Google it.
Yeah, Google it now.
Wow. I like power bottom.
Anyway, yeah. But I also have to say, like, from my friends have told me, like, when you are a bottom, you have to, like, really, because I think in, like, heterosexual relationships, like,
Mhm.
I feel like anal is usually used when people are like, let's try something different, or I just had a fuck ton of babies. Let's try the back,
Oh,
you know,
right,
for
yeah,
second virginity.
Mhm.
But like, I feel like in the queer community, it's like so like well known about like the steps you gotta take, like
Oh, for
prepping.
sure, yeah.
Like my friends, like they're like, oh, I gotta prep. I'm going on a date tonight or something like
Mhm,
that, or like, oh, I can't eat anything
Right. Yeah.
because
yeah,
I'm gonna see this guy later, and I'm just like, what?
yeah.
That's why they're also like got abs and shit.
Yeah, they're
you
all
know?
svelte. Yeah. You know what? I feel like we should normalize that in heterosexual relationships, though. Prepping,
And lube.
lube, and prep, and not just for anal, for regular.
No, for regular,
for
like lube in
yeah,
general.
yeah,
Like, just
yeah.
get some lube. Get a whole Costco size lube, you know?
Yes,
Do it.
lube. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily. It's not a testament to the girl's ability to get wet. I mean, you
No.
just need lube. Like,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes things don't get as wet as you'd like them to be. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And things change, bodies change.
Bodies change.
And you know,
things
why
change.
not be more slippery?
Yes, slippery is always good.
Mhm.
Big fan of the old slip.
Because if it's
Yeah.
not slippery, bad things can happen.
Yes, it's rough.
And
yeah.
then your partner could be hurt.
Yes, or get locked into a situation.
Or get locked into a
that-
weird reverse human centipede situation.
Exactly.
Or
yeah.
instead of it's face to butt, it's like penis to butt, and then
Penis
being
to butt.
consumed slowly
Being-
through the butt.
I start.
So
like,
then
flipping.
then you come out her mouth, you know. You're like, oh my god, I'm out the other end. Crazy.
Hey, I'd watch that movie. But yeah, no.
Eric's like, Jesus.
I would say that, like, I think normalizing prepping before, like on a date night, you know, maybe don't eat like something huge and heavy.
Yes.
Because then the expectations of having sex afterwards are gone. Because
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I'm too full. I can't have sex now. But
Mhm.
like gay dudes don't do that. They're like, oh, we're fucking tonight.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not even going near the spicy ramen. You
Yeah.
know, like, yeah.
What are safe date foods?
I would say salads.
Salads.
Salad is a
But that's
safe
so
date
lame.
food. It is lame.
That's so lame.
It is. But you can't have fried food.
You can't have fried food because then, like, yeah, that's a lot. Your stomach could also like be messed up.
Correct. You can't have big bowls of soup or anything like a ramen, or those are out because you turn into a fucking dishwasher. It's
Yeah.
like when you're on top, and that's
Yeah,
not a hot
You
sound.
jiggle.
Yeah.
When you drink too much
You
water or any
slosh.
fluid, you just when you jump, you like you hear the fucking water in there. You're
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I am made out of 70% water or whatever that statistic is.
Exactly. It's gross.
Yeah.
I think a safe date food would probably be a drink. One drink.
Just get drunk.
Just get drunk. Don't eat.
Lower your expectations. Don't eat. Don't even expect it.
Why have we combined
Food.
food with the event where sex is expected afterwards? Why are those two hand in hand?
Well, I think, at least for a lot of women don't expect to have sex on the first date.
Well, no, but I'm saying, like, if it's
if it's
like,
past that point,
Yeah,
and
you're
you're like,
past that-
we're gonna get down.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like sushi is like the only safe option.
sushi might be, but
Right?
what if you have a bad reaction to fish?
Well, then don't eat sushi.
Yeah, yeah. See,
Because like everything, because like Italian food is romantic, but also could also be heavy.
carb heavy,
Carb
super
heavy,
carb heavy.
you
You don't want to
know.
eat the same food that football players eat.
You can
before
only
a
eat
game.
steak.
Yeah,
Steak and sushi.
steak and sushi. Eric, what would you?
What's
like,
your
if
what's your go-to date
You're,
food?
you're on a date with a girl. You're going into this date like, hey, tonight we're gonna fucking bang. So what are you eating?
You say it exactly that
I
way.
never think about it. Seafood boil is usually
Seafood boil?
that's like one of my faves. So, but that's not like
But you could fuck with the full belly of seafood boil?
me personally. Yes,
Wow.
I don't really think about.
These kids nowadays,
I
I
know.
tell you. Yeah, these kids fucking with seafood boil in
Because
them.
like the Cajun seasoning, wouldn't that be like a little spicy?
I don't. And what, I,
No,
don't-
you know what? I've never
feel like-
had seafood boil yet. So
I feel like for guys, it doesn't really affect us as much.
What? If you're on top, I'm eating one piece of lettuce. That's all I'm eating. That's
you're
it.
like, honey, I I wanna be a stallion for you tonight, so I gotta fast.
Yeah, I'm fasting. Yeah, exactly.
I'm eating. Well, it's always better to eat honestly after the act.
100%.
I
think that's how dates should work.
They
You
should work.
fuck first, then go out for food.
There you go.
Yeah, then you eat whatever you want.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We should spread that word.
we
Spread
should.
that word.
That's this is
the
how
best.
we start dating from now on.
It's the best thing for your body.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I mean, I've been in a committed relationship for the last 7 years, but if I was single and if I was like on the apps, I'd be like, hey,
Want to get a salad?
after we,
You want to share an appetizer
I'm like, hey, how do you want to do this?
and a vodka soda?
I'd give her two options. Like, how do you want to do this? We could have like a salad and a drink and then fuck, or we could fuck and eat whatever we want
Yeah, I'll
afterwards.
take you to Popeyes galore, baby.
I
Like,
guarantee she's gonna be like, let's fuck first.
yeah, I mean, like, yeah, like even with my husband of like, we've been together, almost 8 years at this point, and like, yeah, even when I know I want to like seduce him, I'm like, okay, I can wait to eat.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to be in my prime. You know?
Yeah. Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah. You gotta wait
And then you just did some physical activity, okay?
And
So
then
now
you
you feel like you earned those calories.
Exactly.
And it kind of feels like a reward when you eat the food.
Oh,
You're like,
and even depending on like what you want to eat afterwards, you'll probably put more effort into this now.
Yes.
Like, oh, I want to eat some halal afterwards.
yeah.
I
You're like,
need to
okay,
I need to
I got to
burn
be on
500
top for at
calories.
least
Yeah.
10 more minutes.
Exactly.
Make sure my Fitbit reaches its goal.
I think we're onto something here. I think we're gonna spread
This is
the
a revolution.
I'm glad you guys skipped over my on that note to come to this conclusion.
Oh, I thought that's what you were saying. I thought you were like, on that note, dinner before or after fucking? Sorry, I totally misinterpreted
Yeah,
that.
sorry, I'll clarify next time. I get it.
But yes, well, that's I think that's a good place to wrap. This has been go eat a wrap, and then this has been a great episode. Thank you so much, Paula. There was so many other things I wanted to talk about, but we've got this. We'll have to have you back again.
No, yeah, bring it back.
I'm a tyrant.
Yeah, but Eric just kept going. Fucking talk about date sex and. But yeah, no, thank you so much for doing this. It was so fun. Do you have anything coming up? Anything you want besides a birthday show? Which
Yeah, birthday show, June 8th. It's my real birthday, 6 p.m., Flophouse Comedy Club. But I also produce another show. It's called Chismosa Comedy. It's a gossip-themed comedy show. And I do it kind of sporadically because it's exhausting producing shows. So I kind of like space it out. But I'm doing like a Pride show one where I'm going to have a bunch of my favorite queer gay comedians in the scene be on the lineup and spill some juicy gossip over brunch.
Nice.
So that's June
awesome.
28th. So
And
that's,
where is that?
that one's at Westside Comedy Club.
Okay.
4 o'clock, brunch. Come brunch with us and hear some juicy gossip.
Heck yeah. No, that's fun. Yeah, maybe I'll check it out.
Get some, and you can get some information on the prepping. You know?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's I will come by for educational reasons.
There we go.
But okay, cool. That's awesome. And then I got my monthly show, Holy Hand Grenade, that comes up in a couple of weeks at Barrows Intense in Industry City, and then bunch of dates on the road here and there. Nothing crazy. Same old, same old. What's going on with you, buddy?
Same old.
Same old, same old.
Just this.
Just this? Come on. We talked about this last week.
I got this and a documentary series about comedians that
Ooh.
I don't know if it'll ever.
Wait, what document? Is this the same one? Is this by any chance the same one as Ryan Reese?
No, it is not.
Okay, what's your documentary about?
It's like a day in the life kind of thing.
Ooh.
Of specific comedian. Every episode is a different comedian.
Ooh.
The first one is Jordan Spivey. He's a smaller comedian. He does a lot of what's the Grizzly Pear.
Yes.
Ah.
So yeah, we followed him around.
Oh my god.
Is he still in New York? Spike?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's still around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So
if you ever want to follow me,
yeah, the plan is to
come follow me.
follow a bunch of female comedians.
Heck yeah.
And,
That kind of sounds like you're stalking.
Yeah.
that was the
The plan is to follow a bunch of female
Yeah,
comedians.
lurk far enough behind that you don't even know he's there.
I don't even ask. There's a camera.
I just
Turn around.
pop
There's a
up.
camera. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I saw the episode with Jordan Spivey. It was actually really cool.
Heck yeah.
And then I was like, hey, we should make one on me, and he was like, yeah, let's totally do it. But then I've been I have not had anything special enough to follow me around for. So,
I
Come
mean,
with me to my apartment as I make dinner.
as I go into Corinne Fisher's new office.
because you work there now.
And come watch me as I canvas for Corinne Fisher.
But yeah, check out that doc. How many episodes do you already have?
We just have the one, and we haven't released it yet.
Okay.
Oh.
Wait, I saw it.
I sent you like a Vimeo.
Oh,
Oh,
right,
okay.
right, right.
We're
Okay.
doing music, sound, all that.
Heck
Cool,
yes.
cool. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. But
Oh, one last thing I have. My film Expiration Date, which is a proof of concept for my TV show Grad City, which you can follow on Instagram, Grad City Official, is in festival circuit right now. It just screened at the Look-In Dine-In Theater, whatever it's called, for the Big Apple Film Festival.
What?
And yeah, Brian Scott McFadden is in it. Gloria Mora is in it. Wesley Cruz is in it, and a few other like comedians here and there. But yeah, it's a good one.
you got a TV show. You got a screening at the and you're just like casually throwing that in at the end. I mean, that's cool. That's huge. That's big.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
you didn't mention it at all throughout the
I
whole.
know.
Yeah, it's no.
There's too many things.
I know.
But hopefully, I'm waiting to hear from other festivals, so I don't know the next screening date.
Cool. All right. Well, be on the lookout. Make sure you check that out. And if you like what you saw, come back and watch us again next week at
Okay.
Raj Against the Machine, baby. Have a good night.
Later.
All right. That was fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for doing this.
Of course.